Welcome to Cricket Happenings, dear friends and subscribers. Your host Ram here, welcoming you to your show. I wouldn't be. In fact, I uploaded one video on YouTube, and unfortunately, that didn't upload. So I'm coming again, dear fans, to you to do, and probably this reaches you. So it's going to be very, very short. In the previous upload, I had actually, I really commented, made a very good analysis of the fourth one-day international between India and West Indies, which actually West Indies won by a handsome margin of 103 runs, and they also salvaged something. So first, I'm going to start off with that. As far as the West Indies-India match were concerned, just doing a quick analysis, just giving the match scores there. West Indies were the ones who actually were put into bat by India after India won the toss there at the Sir Vivian Richards Stadium, Northern Antigua yesterday, and they made 249 for 8, and that was a winning score. And then India were rolled out for 146 of just 39 overs, and thus West Indies prevailed over India for the first time in this one-day series, winning the match by 103 runs. And what I would say is they have salvaged something out of it. And for India, they have nothing to really be very concerned about it. What has happened is there were a lot of experiments done. Harbhajan, Munaf Patel, and another key player was the Harbhajan Singh, Munaf Patel, and Shikhar Dhawan was rested, and in came Manoj Tiwari, Ravichandran Ashwin, Ishan Sharma. Manoj Tiwari, as far as Manoj Tiwari was concerned, it was not a match which he would really remember. He struggled to get his 2 runs of just 17 deliveries. He was really struggling. He was not really able to time the ball. As far as Ishan Sharma was concerned, he was bowling all over the place, even though he got the first wicket and he gave the breakthrough to India by actually getting Danza Hayat's wicket with some sharp bounce there, as Danza Hayat fended at the delivery and Tiwari took the catch gleefully. While Ishan Sharma's bowling figures, 10 overs no made him 1 for 60, so that was very, very costly. And the other thing that happened was Ravichandran Ashwin. He actually made 15 runs in that losing cause, and he also bowled very well. In fact, he bowled 10 overs on maiden, 1 for 39. And as far as the Indian bowling was concerned, well, India did fairly well till such time they were having West Indies on real trouble at 103 for 5. And the damage was done by Praveen Kumar and Ishan Sharma. Praveen Kumar was absolutely superb. I have to really say a word about Praveen Kumar. Praveen Kumar bowled in the right areas, and he had 3 maidens on the trot, and that is something which was very special. And finally he ended up with figures of 10 overs, 3 maidens, 3 for 37. For West Indies, Hayat was out for 1, Sarwan was out for 1, Darren Bravo was out for 15, Samuels was LBW, bowled Mishra for 8 by a googly. And the only persons who played there, the substantial contributors, were Lendy Simmons. Now, Lendy Simmons was looking very good in his 67 of 78 balls, 3 fours and 3 sixes before he was run out by Tiwari. Very unfortunate, and that was the time, 103 for 5. And then there is a 96-run partnership for the sixth wicket between Kieron Pollard and Carlton Bogg, and that was something which was a real shot. Kieron Pollard coming in and thrashing. I mean, not thrashing, actually, he played a very different innings of 70, a lot of maturity in that innings that he played. He didn't go for any crash bang strokes there. He was confidence personified. He was having a good look at the bowlers. He was reading the pitch. He understood the conditions, and I'm sure the Desmond Haynes, the batting coach of West Indies, would have gone a long way in helping Pollard, because there were very, very less cross-batted strokes from Pollard today, and we saw Pollard, different Pollard, who really stayed there and helped West Indies to that total of 249. He contributed 70. He had some lusty hits of Mishra, 2 sixes, 70 of 72 balls with 6 fours and 2 sixes, and Carlton Bogg was a real support for Kieron Pollard. He contributed 39 of 57 balls with 3 fours, and Andre Russell came in and punched a few to make 25 of just 14 deliveries, 3 fours and 1 6, and the West Indies score stood at 249. Amit Mishra, 10 overs, 3 maidens, 2 for 56. Initially was bowling well. He had some 5 overs or 6 overs. He had only 16 runs, and after that he was clattered by Kieron Pollard and Andre Russell, and his figures really went for a toss there. 2 for 56. So probably they had decided, the West Indies had decided that they're going to go after Amit Mishra, and that was the right way to do. 6 overs for 24. Well, I don't want to talk much about it. As I said, I can only speak about the salient features of the game. For India, well, Parthiv Patel was looking good with his 26 of 32 balls with 3 fours. And then we had Rohit Sharma, who was the highest scorer once again with 39 of 47 balls in a losing cause today. Well, you can't expect Rohit Sharma to do it all the time. He needs some real support, and Badrinath unfortunately failed. He was looking very shaky against the short ball and the bouncer. Andre Russell really shook him up with the bouncers. Virat Kohli was out for 22. But as far as talking about West Indies bowling were concerned, it was Anthony Martin, the man of the match, who bowled 10 overs, no maiden, 4 for 36 on his home ground, and he was absolutely full of glee. And why not? He was playing on his home ground. And I can only say for West Indies, things are really looking up, because Devendra Bishoo, right arm leg spinner, is coming up superbly. Already the experts have started talking about him as a player for the future. And well, now Anthony Martin, the right arm leg spinner, has taken some few scalps, and a few one would remember Anthony Martin. He actually took up Sehwag and Dravid's wicket, not in a test match, probably in a tour match against India when India toured West Indies, so which Anthony Martin really remembers well. And he had very good figures, and there was a very good piece of stumping by Carlton Bogg behind of the bowling of Martin when Virat Kohli was dismissed. So that was a tremendous piece of stumping. The bails were taken in a flash by the wicketkeeper Carlton Bogg, and also Rohit Sharma was out, and Martin was the one who really never gave India a chance by bowling economically and picking up the wickets too. Darren Sammy started it off all by giving them the breakthrough, and he was very good. He was bowling in the right areas. He was also looking very good. Other than that, Andre Russell was superb today. 7 overs, no maiden, 3 for 16. And Landy Simmons also picked up the very vital wicket of Yusuf Pathan, the danger man, who could have really turned this match, as he was gone for 1. And Ashwin was the one who made 15. So I don't have nothing else to share. Only thing I would say is Rohit Sharma was looking good in his 39 before he got out. But as I said, India, if you see the bowling, the fall of wickets: 20 for 1, 41 for 2, 62 for 3, 82 for 4, 111 for 5. So wickets started falling at regular intervals: 111 for 6, 124 for 7, 138 for 8, 145 for 9, and 146 India all out. So well, and Kieron Pollard 4 overs, none for 20. Anthony Martin, West Indies, won the man of the match. And well, for West Indies, well, they would really take it, because they've salvaged something. And for India, they have nothing to lose, even though they lost this match. But probably they would starting to think that what is the next strategy they could do to actually win the match against West Indies in the 5th One Day International with the same team that they had yesterday. Whether they can do it, that would be something icing on the cake for India. And for West Indies, well, they've already stopped West India in their tracks today. So well, probably they would like to do the same tomorrow too, and make this series, probably, even though India won the match, at least make it 3-2, and have a great consolation for the West Indies. So the 5th ODI will be played with West Indies versus India at Kingston, Jamaica on 16th of June 2011. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about some cricket news, and this cricket news is coming in from Australia. And as you know, the Tri-Series was something that Australia were having it in an annual on an annual basis, but unfortunately the sponsors backed out, and they couldn't really go further. But now the time has once again come. Sponsors are coming to the fore, and well, what I learned here is that it is going to be Sri Lanka, Australia, and India actually contesting the Tri-Series there in the month of February, and March 8th would be the finals at Adelaide. So after a long time, the Tri-Series is coming back to Australia. So that is some good news for the Australian fans, and also for the all over the world, because Australians, as far as Australian cricket commentary is concerned, everyone really love it, because it's a very thorough analysis of the game by the experts like Ian Chappell, Tony Greig on Channel 9, also Bill Lawry, not to forget Michael Slater, Ian Healy, and also Mark Taylor. So that is something which, and also India will be playing. India will be playing some 2020 matches and test matches. The test matches will be starting on Boxing Day, that is on December 26, 2011. And before that, it would be New Zealand first touring Australia, and then India come over, and then Sri Lanka joins. So then the tri-series starts. So, and the other news that I have is that, as expected, the Afghanistan coach, the former Pakistan player, wicketkeeper Rashid Latif, has actually decided to give his resignation as the Afghanistan coach. So that is some news which is coming up. And Tilagatne Dilshan is unfortunately out of the Rose Bowl, the third test match between England and Sri Lanka, the Sri Lankan captain, for the third and final test between England and Sri Lanka, which is unfortunate. But James Anderson would be raring to go at the Rose Bowl. I don't have anything else to share. As I said, the upload that I made previously was a long drawn one, but this one is short because I don't know whether this upload is really going to go through. Well, dear fans, friends and subscribers, on this note, I'm finishing my Cricket Happening show for today. See you all tomorrow. Thank you.